Are you intrigued by history and science that have contested explanations? Ever thought, I'm definitely smarter than my friends, but not as smart as the experts? Then join Craig and Dave as they explore the mysteries of who the why the and how the will they actually find the answers? Probably not, but they'll have a good time trying. Welcome to Craig and Dave's Sci-Piece.
All right, we're back for another episode of Craig and Dave's Sci-Piece.
11. We're in
Double
double
digits.
digits. Yeah.
11.
11. It goes to 11.
That's why we're not professionals.
Yeah, exactly.
20 fingers, couldn't figure out 11. So the end of our last episode, we pulled our next topic, and it is Machu Picchu.
Machu Picchu.
Not to be confused with what?
Makanaka Pisai. That's all I fucking keep, dude. It's all I can think of every time I say it. It drives me bonkers.
I love it.
Yeah, that stupid commercial. What commercial was that from?
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But
I remember it now. I just flashed. No, it being a commercial.
Yeah, it was
in
a
my head.
TV commercial. Yeah, Makanaka Pisai. But yeah, Machu Picchu.
Going to Peru.
Peru is a crazy place, man.
Yeah.
Very interesting place, you know.
I feel like Peru, because it's on the west coast of South America, probably got a lot more. Like we talked about all like the Pacific Islanders.
Polynesians and
Chinese. They probably got a lot of those visitors. Well, like the East Coast got Spanish and Portuguese, and like up in the North America, Vikings and everything.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot more happened down there than
exactly
what we know about.
Exactly. I mean, there's tons of stuff there. The culture down there goes on for thousands of years.
Yeah, and it's a huge area,
and it's massive.
Peru's it's like how many 1,000 miles long or something, like north to south. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
right?
it is huge. It takes up most of the western side of South America.
It's the whole mountain range.
Yeah, yep,
pretty much.
And you have in Peru, you have the Nazca lines.
Yep, we'll get there.
We'll get there, exactly. You have the Nazca lines. You have Machu Picchu, and there's other sites in Peru as well. You know, I mean, there's tons and tons of stuff. But Machu Picchu is crazy because it's 8,000 feet above sea level. Yeah, it's like 7,900 and something feet above sea level.
You can see New Zealand from the top.
Yeah. Those people think that you can. But
Sorry.
It's all right. But no, it's just an incredible place, and it's one of those things.
It was built on like a mountaintop outcropping, almost is what it looks like.
Yeah, and
like if I was like, I'm gonna build a fortress that no one can get into.
Yeah,
it's going there.
It's going up there. Yeah, because I mean, you'd look at people for days trying to climb up there, like
just throwing your banana peels on as a trying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
like Donkey Kong.
Yeah. But it was like it was like you said it earlier too. It was like a summer home.
It's like a summer home.
Yeah, they didn't live there year round.
Based like what most people think it was not like inhabited year. It was, but by the people that were working there.
Yeah,
slaves.
Yeah.
But there was only 700 or 800 people there at a time. Most of them were there to maintain the area.
Yeah, and I think it was more like a place to fall back to in case of like an invasion or something like that.
Right.
Like we can go up there and we can defend this place.
Yeah.
And be fine.
Right.
You know.
If only smallpox couldn't climb mountains.
Yeah. But what amazes me about that place too is, I mean, the stonework is just unreal.
There's like 2 or 3 facets of that aspect of it that fascinate me. The stonework is the one.
Yeah.
So you started that. You can dive in a little bit.
I mean, some of the rocks look like they were melted together.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, you cannot, and they're just strangely form fit. Mm-hmm. Like, you wouldn't carve that shape.
Not on purpose.
Not on purpose. You wouldn't be like, I got to carve this to fit this crazy stone when you could just square it off.
Right. All the stones.
It would be easier to just square it off.
Right.
But they didn't do that. And, and it looks like they were
molding it.
Like molding it into place. And
it's wild.
It's crazy. You couldn't slide a piece of paper between these stones.
Nope.
There's no mortar, and this place has been there forever.
On
the
top of a
mountains.
mountain.
On the top of a mountain that has earthquakes and all this stuff, and it's just like sitting there like, yeah, whatever. Like, no, yeah.
It's like, bring it, nature.
Yeah, exactly. And I find it amazing. But the big stones and all the crazy stonework is at the bottom.
Yep.
And then as you get to the top, it's a lot of small stones. And it looks like a Mexican or Portuguese guy went there and made it, like a mason. You know what I mean? Like, there's mortar, you know what I mean? There's mortar and stuff.
Someone chiseled their initials into like a stone.
Yeah.
Joao.
Joao was here. Yeah. But, but that's what I mean. Like, it looks like a regular, like, stonemasonry. Like,
It's like when you go through, like if you went through Boston or New York or Philadelphia, even you go over to England and you dig, if you picked a spot in the middle of the road, like, all right, let's dig down 10 feet.
Yeah.
You're going to hit cobblestones.
Yes.
All roads used for modern reasons, but very different construction styles.
Yeah, exactly.
Same type of thing.
Same type of thing. So somebody previously is like, you know what we need to do at the top of this mountain? Move gigantic, huge stones. That's important.
And make them look weird.
And make them look weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. But perfect at the same time.
Yeah.
And then add it, then the other facet was like the other stuff was built after. It seems like after. Like they came in and said, oh, this place is, we could do something different with this.
Well, there's already a foundation.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of like what we've talked about a few times now is like there was a civilization that used this spot. It was probably a pretty good location.
Yeah.
And this other that later was like, hey, I remember we used to be able to build like that, but we don't quite know how to do that. Let's just go on top of it.
Yeah.
Use the same spot.
Exactly. Because like I said, all the stuff, all the works above a certain level are small stones, mortar, just pieced together like a modern mason would do, like you know, like modern masonry, like you would see a stone wall out in front of somebody's house. And how do you switch? That's not. It's reverting back to, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's going backwards, you know? So somebody built this crazy stuff, and then somebody was like, okay, this is really cool. We need, let's fix it. Because it could be way older.
Probably
you know,
is.
and it did start to crumble and fall apart, and they were like, okay, let's fix this. Let's do this and reuse this place. What better way, especially at that time, when you needed to concentrate on other things and
it's half
to
done.
survive. It's half done. You're like, oh, we can just throw this up here.
Yeah.
And
and if you think about it, if it was way older and part of it had collapsed, you have stones there to use.
Yeah.
They'd be smaller. Hey, we can fit these back together.
Or you just broke them up. They're like they were probably like, this stone is huge. We can't move it.
What am I gonna do about this?
Chisel it into smaller
Bing!
stones. Yeah. And then we'll build the wall out of that. Yeah.
Hold this spike in the middle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even some of the big, huge stones have little nubs on them.
Yep. So they wouldn't move.
And stuff. And then or even maybe some of it was there to pick them up.
Yeah.
Somehow with rope, you know what I mean? With some kind of harnessing system, like tie off type thing. Who knows? But it's just very interesting. But the main thing to me is the way it looks like it's molded in place.
Yeah. Yep. And it's not the only place on Earth where you see that.
No, it's not.
No.
You've seen that. You've seen that in other places. at a time too, like there's similar construction on the other side of the world,
Yeah.
which is weird because
Wild.
at that time they weren't supposed to have any contact or
Mm-hmm.
very similar structures. And then especially in a place too, we had like the Mayans weren't too far away.
Yep.
Building different style, in a different style.
Yeah.
The Inca were built, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you've got this. What it was the Inca, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the Inca. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
before them, the Olmecs were
the
building
Olmec,
stuff. Yeah.
the Aztecs, you had all these big, huge
That
tribes.
lost
that
civilization on Antarctica that we'll talk about sometime.
Yeah, definitely.
I can put that in there.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah. But it's like that's what I mean. These things, I think it was there longer. It was
agree.
just grabbed on like, oh, this is already here. It's established. It's a solid foundation. This ain't going anywhere.
Yeah.
Let's just build on top of this. It'll save us time,
a great
materials.
spot.
It's a great spot.
Yeah.
And we can just do what we got to do.
And you don't just stumble upon a place like that.
No.
So there was probably some knowledge that it was there.
It would. Yeah.
They went and improved on it or reclaimed it.
Yeah,
Probably more
some
like
goat herder was like, "Yeah, I saw it," and they're like, "No, you didn't."
It's Jose City.
Yeah, and then they just go up there and they do it, and then and you would go there for, another invading tribe or something. You'd be like, "All right, let's just start hiking up the mountain," because then you're hiking up. You've got these paths. You can just block the paths and do these
Yeah.
things to slow people down so much that they probably just give up.
Yeah. Like, it's not
at
worth
some
it.
point. It's not worth.
Just start sneezing on them. They'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
But that was the other thing up there is they built terraces, stepped terraces down the sides of the mountain
sides of the
to
mountains
grow crops,
with irrigation.
which is that whole city was designed to have water run out and off of it without eroding it.
Without eroding it. It had like it was like it was like tunnels, like tubes underground, and it irrigated these
It irrigated the
areas,
crops
the
and
crops,
kept the water
and
going.
kept the water going. Yeah.
We can't do that now.
That's what I mean. It's like I mean,
We can't get a soccer field to not flood in my
yeah,
town.
exactly. There's
These
been
people 12,000 years ago figured out how to catch rainwater,
yeah.
water their plants, and get it away from them.
Yeah, there's an intersection near my house that's been flooding for 40 years every time it rains hard. And they've fixed it every year for 40 years.
You had a city planner.
Yeah, and it still floods. They're like, we fixed it, then it rains. They're like, oh, all right, we did it. Yeah.
We thought we stopped the rain, but it didn't happen.
Yeah. And who knew all you needed was a dude in a loincloth come over there and be like, oh, yeah, just do this. And that'd be it. We'd be all set. But it just blows my mind. But these people did these incredible works. And, for years. And they say it was like 1400s or something, like the 14th century. So like 1300s is when they say it was built. But I think that's when the new work was built.
I think so, too.
I think the other stuff dates back way further. They were doing incredible things, like we said, like the Nazca lines.
Yeah.
Why were they doing the Nazca lines? You can't see them from the ground.
You could, I know there's not a lot to do there, but how bored do you have to be
That hey, we're
for
just
no other purpose?
gonna draw a gigantic, weird-looking dude waving at the sky,
Yeah, I'll stand here. You just walk until I can almost not see you.
and then everybody else, you just look around and like, all right, we're done. We are. Like,
Yeah.
we did it. It's good. You sure? Like,
Yeah, trust me.
Yeah, trust me. Yeah, it's all set. And then nobody could see it until the Wright brothers. You know what I mean? It just blows my mind, like the stuff that they were
Can you
doing.
imagine they were just actually taking people, they were loading like slaves in a trebuchet, and they were like, thump,
Yeah,
and he's just calling out the lines right before he hits the deck.
go. Yeah.
Left wing needs 5 more feet.
Oh God. But it makes you think, like they've talked about things like they think that they could have used things like hot air balloons.
Why not?
And why not?
They were way smarter than we'll ever know.
And we know the Chinese did like the Chinese lantern.
Yeah.
So they knew hot air would make something float.
Yep.
So that doesn't mean just the Chinese knew that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Globally, people would figure out something along those lines accidentally, like,
Yeah.
oh, this.
Why do
you know?
embers float up in a fire?
Yeah, exactly. And then you've got somebody who's like, oh, and who knows? You make a thing out of sheepskin. You got a hot air balloon that goes up, and
Yeah, and you didn't get your wife pregnant.
yeah, yeah. But I mean,
Again, it's. I think it's wild to think that throughout the history of the planet, no one figured this stuff out until we started writing it down.
yeah,
That's what drives me crazy.
that's what drives me nuts too, and
Because the dates, like the mid to late 1400s, are based on like contextual knowledge, like things have been written down or whatever. We don't know.
yeah,
That's just when people started saying, "Oh, this is here." Okay.
yeah, and a lot of the stories were just word of mouth and stuff, and a lot of them get dismissed too because you get like somebody be like, "Who put those big stones there?" And they're like, "Giants." and mainstream archaeology is like, "All right, forget it." You know what I mean? Because that's
no such
just
thing as giants.
yeah, that's just the ancestral stories that are coming down. That are like spoken word that just came down through the generations. And they're like, all right, these people are crazy, but the whole giant thing you never know. It could have been giants. It could have been like, yeah, no, these people are just taller than them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just a group of
They
people.
lived in the mountains.
Yeah, they lived in the mountains, and they were just a taller group of people. Doesn't necessarily mean they were 18 feet tall.
Right.
And carrying those rocks in their pockets. You know what I mean? But that's the way people talk when they describe something they couldn't see. You know what I mean? They couldn't understand.
Why would a giant that's big enough to carry a 50-ton stone use it to make a house that he can't use?
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. Exactly.
I'm gonna make a dollhouse.
I'm gonna
these rocks.
use these giant stones to make something that I can't get through the door.
It's foolish.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I mean, it's just you just have these. If you had a group of, think about it in Peru at the time, the average height of those people was probably like 5'3", 5'4".
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, at that time, and now it's like 5'5". But sorry, I'm sorry. but no, but if you had a different tribe, a different race of people that came over, and these people are closer to 6 feet tall, they would be like, this dude's freaking huge.
Just average height, like difference of 2 inches, which is not a lot, would be noticeable across a population.
Yeah,
compared
exactly.
to another population.
So you would say those giants.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not necessarily meaning gigantic.
Just bigger than us.
Cyclops. You know what I mean? They're just saying they're just bigger than us.
Yeah.
But I find that, amazing. And there was a good point, too. Like, so these things happened. Now, we know, we're just talking about Machu Picchu. The other stuff that has been built for thousands of years in Peru, some amazing stuff that's been going on over there, these big, giant cultural centers and, and civilization. Isn't it ironic that they say it also started about 6,000 years ago?
Right.
So you're telling me in Peru, in Egypt, in China, in all over the world, all of these civilizations just arose at the same time?
At roughly the same level of knowledge and
yeah.
No.
That doesn't make any sense to
Nope.
me. It doesn't make any sense.
No. What would make sense is if globally civilizations that were advanced got wiped out and the population started to regain itself and spread out.
Yeah.
Then you're on roughly the same track.
Yeah. Or maybe they were traveling. Maybe there were sailors that were constantly traveling and they were trading with these other groups of people. And if they were crossing the oceans or, and making trade with these people, you would pass ideas just like everywhere else in the world.
If they had the balls to go set sail and just go find islands 2,000 years ago,
yeah,
where did they get that courage?
Yeah, exactly.
They knew there was things out there.
Yeah.
And where did that come from?
Yeah. So you get this sharing of ideas, this sharing of knowledge for certain things. Because even that, like someone shows up in a boat and you're like sitting there in your canoe that you burned out of a tree, and some dude shows up and you're like, the hell is that? Yeah. Like, look at that thing. That thing's incredible. How'd you do that? You know, they're like, oh, this is what we do. You take this stuff over here and mash it up with some tree sap and make pitch to, you know what I mean, and stuff like that.
You do this and you do that, and then you won't get to do it because I'm bringing you back to my island because I need a farmer. But
yeah, exactly. You're gonna take your gold.
Yeah. You have any daughters?
Yeah.
All right, good. They're coming too.
Yeah.
But no, I think that's been happening, and we're seeing now a lot of these, the archaeological, the dating is changing because of
A lot of it is
the
changing. A lot of
technology
evidence
we
is-
have now. Like,
yeah.
we're not just relying on written text in this. It's like, all right, we can look at the wear patterns on these stones. Be like, all right,
Yes.
we can look at them from a known time period and see how it's worn and compare it to what's there.
Yep.
And extrapolate dates and time frames, and it's going
Exactly.
way further back than anything else.
Yeah.
Because even
exactly.
carbon dating, it gives you a range. It could be from here to here.
Yep.
All right, great. But if you look at other things and they're all telling the same story, that's not what we see in the text. That says more to me than anything else.
Absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
science.
It's science. Yeah.
It's science.
Yeah. But it's funny, like, because we've talked about this with mainstream archaeology for years. This
is our 11th episode.
I know, but no, I'm saying
Since last year.
Yeah,
We can say that.
Yeah, we can say that. No, but I'm saying for years they screw each other over. Someone comes up with an idea that challenges what's they think is known. Someone comes up with an idea and challenges that. It's labeled pseudoscience, and they're a fraud.
They dismiss it because they don't want to be discredited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and you see it over and over again, and it's happened 1,000 times, and it'll continue to happen until something just hits them in the nose.
Yeah.
And it's slowly
maybe-
happening.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like you're having all this hard science that's like, all right, if you don't think it's what is it?
Yeah. Exactly. And it is getting 100% to a point where they're going to say they have to acknowledge these findings. They have to, or they're just going to look foolish.
Yep.
So
That's gonna end up being what discredits them more than anything. The unwillingness to entertain different ideas and different science and evidence.
yeah, exactly.
But I mentioned, the geology and the wear patterns, and that was something that spawned the next topic for our next episode.
We're gonna.
So we're doing something a little different. We're not going to pull a topic this time because something just popped up this week that we did want to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it has to do with dating the pyramids in Egypt. So
Yep.
that'll be our next episode. So why don't you wrap us up for
All
this one?
right. So thanks for listening and watching. If you like the show, follow us on Facebook. Subscribe to the channel on both Spotify or YouTube or wherever you get your podcast. We have an email at cdscipiece@gmail.com. If you have something you want to correct us, you want to just chime in on the subject, or you want to give us something to talk about, send us an email. We'd love to read it and talk about it.
Yeah. I'm down for hate mail too.
And hate mail. We're fine with that.
Send it.
Yeah.
I will, listen, if we get hate mail, I'll read it.
Yeah. We're fine with that.
Actually, I might start the next episode with hate mail.
Okay.
If we get it, let's.
Yeah. Send us some hate.
I'm open to all evidence. Unlike mainstream archaeologists, I will accept everything.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'll disagree with it privately. Yeah. But no, tune into our next episode. That'll wrap us up for this one.
Yep. That's it.
Bye, Josh Gates.
Bye, Josh.